flag. Here to do the honors is our newly appointed school board student representative, Razvan Verde.
Good evening, members of the school board, Superintendent Dr. Mitchell, auditorium guests, and our viewing audience. My name is Razvan Verde. I am a senior at Warwick High School and am serving as the student representative to the school board. As we begin a new school year, I would like to share a poem called What Will Matter by Michael Josephson. Ready or not, someday it will all come to an end. There will no longer be any more sunrises, no minutes, hours, or days. Your wealth, fame, and power will shrivel to irrelevance. Your grudges, resentments, frustrations, and jealousies will finally disappear. So too, your hopes, ambitions, plans, and to-do lists will expire. The wins and losses that once seemed so important will fade away. It will not matter where you came from or what side of the tracks you lived on at the end. It will not matter whether you were beautiful or brilliant. Even your gender and skin color will be irrelevant. So what will matter? How will the value of your days be measured? What will matter is not your success, but your significance. What will matter is not what you learned, but what you taught. What will matter is every act of integrity, compassion, courage, or sacrifice that enriched, empowered, or encouraged others to emulate your example. What will matter is not your competence, but your character. What will matter is not how many people you knew, but how many people will feel a lasting loss when you're gone. What will matter is not your memories, but the memories of those who loved you. What will matter is how long you will be remembered, by whom, and for what. Living a life that matters doesn't happen by accident. It's not a matter of circumstance, but of choice. Choose to live a life that matters. Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Verde. And your message could not be more timely. We do appreciate it. And we are so thrilled that you are with us for this full year.
Thank you.
Before we get into the business of tonight's meeting, I'd like to recognize a few people who are here with us in support. I think when the city goes through something, we all go through something, and when it hits home, it hits the family. I am very thankful that we have a mayor and of course, our assistant city manager is with us, and our police chief. And I believe that we can get through all things. But it is such a joy to know that you guys come when we need you to come. So if we could, just for a moment, our city has gone through a challenge over the past week. If we can take a moment of silence. Thank you, and thank you all for your presence. The next item on tonight's agenda is school board recognition. So Dr. Mitchell, if you would join me at the podium.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of presenting this month's recognitions. Newport News Public Schools Apprenticeship Program is a structured professional development and state certification program that combines hands-on career training and practical classroom learning. The program is designed to develop highly skilled employees. During the 2-year process, apprentices gain a deeper understanding of the school division and school division operations, and how their work fits into the division's strategic plan and supports our students. The program is the only one in Virginia administered by a school division through the Virginia Department of Labor and Industry's Apprenticeship Office. The customized courses enhance the apprentice's skills and talents. The school division has programs in 4 occupational areas: child nutrition services, custodial services, transportation, and clerical support. Tonight, we're recognizing our most recent graduates, now clerical specialists. These dedicated employees successfully completed a rigorous sequence of program requirements to earn a Commonwealth of Virginia Certificate of Completion of Apprenticeship. The certificate reads, the name of the individual has satisfactorily completed a time-based registered apprenticeship of 4,000 hours at the occupation of clerical specialist in accordance with the standards and approved by the Virginia Apprenticeship Council, and is, by virtue of the statutes of the Commonwealth, awarded this certification, and it is signed by the Secretary of the Virginia Apprenticeship Council. Please join me in recognizing and congratulating our newly designated clerical specialists. Those that we announce with an honors designation finished with a 3.5 or higher grade point average. Please join us in congratulating Jennifer Barkers, graduating with honors from Passage Middle School. Ms. Barkers. Sherry Caraway, graduating with honors from Rich Neck Elementary School. Adrena Cephas with honors from McIntosh Elementary School. Christine Fisher and Achievable Dream Academy. Ms. Fisher. Monica Hightower from Deer Park Elementary School. Beverly Husband from Woodside High School. Tanya Owens from Discovery STEM Academy. Jessica Barrett with honors, Woodside High School. Alfreda Ray with honors from Kiln Creek Elementary School. Michael Richardson from Yates Elementary School. Latasha Thomas from Hydenwood Elementary School. Jennifer Zacharias from Sanford Elementary School. And rounding out our graduates is Brinklyn Williams, and she's graduating with honors from Minchville High School. She was unable to join us this evening, but please give her a round of applause as well. During the 2-year program, these clerical specialists completed 288 hours of coursework and on-the-job training in customer service, effective communications, English, math, Spanish, workplace technology, and leadership skills. The clerical apprentices also sharpened their skills in crisis training, public speaking, office management, and event planning. And again, please join us in one more round of congratulations for all of their hard work. Before you return to your seat, I'd like to take a picture. Yes, you can join us right away.
I'm not doing your job, I'm sorry.
And as they return to their seats, I'd like to take an opportunity to acknowledge their supporters. I know that a lot of work went into this. I spent some time, the ladies and the gentlemen, over the course of 3 or 4 days, but this has been a 2-year process for them. So we'd like to acknowledge their family, friends, and school colleagues. Would you please stand and be recognized? Thank you very much for loaning us them for a little while. I'd also like to acknowledge Dr. Nina Farish, Director of Human Resources, and the Director of the program, Kimberly Hammond, our Training and Development Coordinator. Thank you. At this time, we're going to take about an 8-minute break so that our honorees and their families may leave. If you choose to do so, you're welcome to stay the rest of the board meeting. Okay. During this time, our viewing audience will have an opportunity to view this month's School Board Spotlight. So we'll stand in recess for about 8 minutes. Thank you.
There's nothing quite like it. The nervous excitement mixed with the anticipation of a new school year makes the first day of school one of the most memorable days of the year for thousands of students, their families, and the dedicated educators who lead the way. In late August, over 26,000 students kicked off the 2024-2025 school year across Newport News Public Schools. Energetic students from Christopher Newport University helped make the first day of school a celebratory event. Starting early in the morning, CNU's student athletes lined Warwick Boulevard, reminding commuters to be on the lookout for school buses and students as they make their way to and from their bus stops. Holding signs and representing several nationally recognized teams, these community-focused athletes volunteered their morning to remind everyone to drive safely and put kids first. For 20 years, CNU has participated in the Safe Drive Initiative as part of their Kids First athletic outreach, giving students an opportunity to make a positive impact on the community of Newport News. At several elementary schools, CNU's student athletes were joined by Greek life students, local churches, and community partners, who were all eager to greet students and staff on the first day of school. Whether students were hopping off their school bus or being dropped off by parents, they were greeted with high fives, cheers, and signs of encouragement. With smiles on their faces, elementary students felt a boost of confidence to receive such a memorable and energetic greeting. Many of these student groups and community partners will continue to give support to our schools as the school year continues, offering our students fun opportunities to grow academically and socially. Preparing our schools and classrooms for a year of learning is no small task. And since many hands make light work, Christopher Newport University is instrumental in lightening the load for our hardworking staff. For the 17th year, incoming freshmen to CNU spent their first days of college serving their new community in and around Newport News. During day one of service, 373 freshmen enrolled in the President's Leadership Program volunteered their day at 44 sites across the peninsula, helping any way they could. These sites included over 15 schools in Newport News, allowing CNU's student leaders a chance to prepare school supplies, organize classrooms, clean up outdoor learning spaces, and assist teachers and staff as they prepare for a great start to a new school year. Day one of service was organized by CNU's Center for Community Engagement and the President's Leadership Program Office. At each site, upperclassmen, faculty, and staff served as site team leaders, but also played a pivotal role of informing the diverse freshman class, who are new to Newport News, about the great offerings found around the city for shopping, recreation, and entertainment. As students continue their involvement with the President's Leadership Program at CNU, they will have many more opportunities to engage with citizens in our city and schools while preparing for a life of leadership, service, and civic responsibility. The Newport News Public Schools Technology Department plays a crucial role in equipping over 26,000 students with the necessary tools for academic success in the 21st century classroom. Since 2020, the technology staff has provided mobile devices to every student in Newport News Public Schools, a staggering accomplishment logistically. The work starts in the summer, where technology support specialists, with the help of student summer interns, work diligently to clean, refurbish, re-image, and quality check Chromebooks and iPads in preparation for the start of the school year. They also purchase brand new devices to replace units that are beyond repair from the previous year. During the first 4 days of the school year, over 40 TSS techs visited every middle and high school to distribute thousands of Chromebooks. Quickly and efficiently, every secondary student received their own personal device and charger to use in school and at home for a majority of their everyday learning. For preschools and elementary schools, more than 12,000 iPads and Chromebooks were distributed to classrooms before the start of the school year, allowing students to use these devices to complete learning activities in their classrooms. Thanks to months of planning, working, and distribution, the NNPS Technology Department ensures all students are well equipped for a year of academic success. Students, staff, and an excited community are already gearing up for the 2026 school year and the grand opening of the brand new Huntington Middle School. In early September, school and city leaders, elected officials, Huntington alumni, and members of the community gathered for the official groundbreaking of the historic school. Over the course of 2 years, Huntington will be reborn as a 600-student education center with a focus on STEAM and include student learning studios, state-of-the-art labs, and open collaboration areas. The groundbreaking ceremony was a celebration of the next chapter of Huntington's enduring legacy, where students will have an amazing facility to build their own bright futures. For participating elementary students, Camp Elevate offered a summer full of fun, interactive, and enriching learning activities. At the end of the 5-week summer experience, all 4 elementary sites invited families to celebrate the accomplishments and growth of their young learners. During Family Day, hundreds of families saw firsthand what their students learned in literacy, math, and science at the Learning Showcase. Students and families also enjoyed the Community Partners Exploration, where local businesses and community partners shared learning activities and valuable resources to support families. Family Day was an engaging celebration for everyone involved, giving families an opportunity to support their elementary summer learners who are continuing their incredible learning journey. This summer, Hines Middle School was the central location for the STEAM Center, where 529 rising 3rd through 10th grade students participated in 11 different enrichment STEAM camps designed to sharpen their critical thinking skills and inspire creativity. On the last day of the 4-week summer camps, an expo was held for families and community partners to tour the variety of projects completed over the summer. Throughout the school, students shared their immersive summer experiences by showcasing their robotic designs, describing the steps taken to code their projects, and guiding guests through fun STEM challenges. At each interactive station, students demonstrated leadership skills and confidence in their budding knowledge, while family and guests enjoyed learning about all the unique educational opportunities students experience through their summer STEAM camp.
I hope you enjoyed this month's School Board Spotlight. During our regular meetings, we provide time for the public to address the school board. These opportunities are scheduled in the early part of our agenda and towards the end of the meeting. As advertised, citizens may submit comments via email up to 30 minutes prior to our meeting time to be included in the official meeting record. For those of you joining us in person, the board considers this an opportunity to listen to your comments. Please understand that we will consider your concerns. We ask that you comply with our 3-minute time limit. As you begin your comments, a green light will come on. A yellow light signals you have 30 seconds remaining, and a red light and beep indicates your time is up. Please be cognizant of the beep. As your name is called, please come forward. And I am going to call Delegate Shelley Simons, and as she is coming to the podium, I must share, we are really excited to have her with us. Shelley got her start right here at this dais. In fact, she was one of my mentors, so it is quite a joy having you join us. And she is currently serving as a delegate, and her heart is totally about education, which she's also the vice chair of the education committee, and she fights for us daily. And since you do that, Shelley, you do not have a 3-minute time limit.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. It's so nice to be back with my team. That's the way I feel every time I come in. I bring greetings from the Virginia Legislature. I'm Delegate Shelley Simons. I am a former teacher, a former school board member who now represents Newport News in the Virginia House. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words tonight. As a delegate, I'm able to put in requests for Newport News in the state budget. This year, I submitted a request for $1.5 million to do renovations at Rich Neck Elementary for safety and security upgrades to the school building. They really needed these renovations, and we really want to show our Rich Neck teachers and students some love. The exciting news that I want to share with you tonight is that we recently found out that we got $1.5 million in the caboose budget. This is in addition to over $2 billion statewide for public education and the funding for 3% teacher raises. So, and just to conclude, I know that politics can seem like a lot of negative doom and gloom these days, but my message to you all is really that at the local level, we're working together, we're moving in a positive direction, and by working together, we're really getting things done. So I am delighted to be your partner up in Richmond. Thank you so much for all that you do every day.
Thank you so much for fighting for us. We do appreciate it. Natalie Chamberlain.
Good evening. I'm Reverend Natalie Chamberlain, pastor at Hilton Christian Church and part of a loose coalition of folks that have started coming since JBP has been on the agenda. I come tonight with a word of encouragement. This is something that was written by a colleague of mine, Reverend Christy Seviers McGuire, and she wrote it for the beginning of school, but I think it's especially appropriate this week. Beloved future, dreams do not have deadlines. Change and transformation are happening. Find the good. Can you see how far the generations among you have come? Slow is fast and fast is slow. Breathe. You are a good ancestor. You are a good friend. You are a good child. The world is full of goodness. I don't know what this moment feels like to you. I do know that you are giving it your all in the valleys and the mountaintops in which you dwell. The divine loves you. tell all in your midst this great good news.
Thank you. Crystal Beauvier? Is it Beauvier? Okay. Okay.
Hello, NNPS school board members. My name is Crystal Beauvais. I currently have 3 children in NNPS, and I come to you as a concerned parent. I hold a degree in social psychology, and I'm here this evening to discuss the security and safety of our children at NNPS. As of today, multiple measures have been implemented in the name of safety. These include clear backpacks, metal detectors and wands, school IDs, here comes the bus apps, and new cell phone policies. None of these have altered or hindered the violence that continues to occur both on our school grounds and throughout the hallways within the schools. The burden of this falls to the administration and you folks here today on the school board, some of you who've been here for 10 years. And I'm here to say that the only achievement that has been accomplished is successfully making our children feel that they are prisoners of a system that they have no power or voice in. Every policy you've implemented mirrors our jailhouses and our courtrooms. Children are treated guilty until proven innocent. Altercations are swept under the rug if we're informed of them at all. And to end it all, the most recent policy takes away the one outlet our children have to the only people who'll stand behind them, and all in the name of their mental health. Today at 8:24 a.m., my daughter texted me from her middle school English room because her sister wasn't answering her messages after she was informed by the teacher that there was a shooting near her sister's school and that the school was in lockdown. She messaged both myself and her stepdad to ask if she was okay. My husband then spent over 15 minutes trying unsuccessfully to get through to the school when he reached out to NNPD to be told that there was a shooting, but it was not on school grounds. When he finally got a hold of the school, the admin told him there was no lockdown. Sounded like she was reading from a note card. No information was given, and we had to learn what was actually happening from social media and the news before we were ever given a phone call or an email from the schools. My children have been attacked in classrooms, accosted verbally by teachers and students, and sexually assaulted in the hallways. The one common denominator were school officials telling me that, was it really that big of a deal? My kids are honor roll students and have some teachers asking about them years after they've left the classrooms and schools. They're not troublemakers asking to be put into these situations, but are continuously let down by the people in the schools who are supposed to be there to support them, and instead are the ones to have to change schedules and classes to accommodate the sources of the problem. I could go on to name other issues about related school shootings and bullying and things that have happened between Gildersleeve, Hines Middle School, Minchville, just to name a few, but I'm sure we're all well aware as they keep popping up after incidents that happened this morning. To conclude, your safety policies have done nothing to make our children feel safer. They come home daily telling me that they have no support system in their schools. The only thing that they've accomplished is ingraining into our children that they are nothing but a number on an ID, to be searched and have personal belongings seized with no rights to privacy, all because you don't want to take care of the actual problems. The mentality of treating them like criminals in a jail cell is going to do more harm to them than anything else. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Lena Lamont.
Hi, I'm Lana Lamont. I basically came from New York. I'm a new resident here, and I'm working in Greenwood. My concern here is about the SPED department. There's a rapid turnover, and it doesn't seem like people want to work in this system. My question is, are you training more people to work in the system that they remain in this system? Because I've worked in the system for 20 years, and these kids are some people, small people that I really love, and I want to see a difference. That is my goal.
Thank you. I believe this is Ariella Lucas. Hello, Ariella. Hi.
Do I start now?
Yes, you may.
Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and parents. My name is Ariel Lucas, and I'm a sixth grader at Crittenden Middle School. I am here to talk about my experience so far as a new middle school student. When I first started middle school, I noticed longer halls, stairs that don't just lead up to the roof, and a bigger cafeteria. I thought middle school would be absolutely stressful, but what I found, it was not that bad once all your work is done. One of the biggest challenges have been A and B days and having several different teachers than my usual 3 in elementary school. It's also been different making new friends and getting used to a way older kids and a cacophony of noise during class transitions. One of my favorite parts about middle school is band and lunch, even though those two things don't go together. So far, I've learned how to stay organized, keep up with my work, and have more patience. I've also gotten better at my math and English and having straight A's so far. As I continue through middle school, I'm really looking forward to participating in school sports and clubs. One of my goals is to keep up with my straight A's. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight. Middle school has been a new and exciting journey, and I'm excited to see what's next.
Thank you. Reverend Michael Burnett.
School board members, thank you again for the opportunity to speak to you. I too want to offer a word of encouragement. We've been having an immensely difficult week, frankly, an immensely difficult several years here in Newport News and all across the country, even globally. I know that you have no small tasks set in front of you to secure the security of our students while respecting the inherent worth and dignity of each one of them as human beings. I harbor no envy for you, but I also have faith that you will be able to do what you need to do. And I want you to know that you are being supported, you're being prayed for, you're being talked about. We're lifting you up in every way we possibly can. Because not only is this task momentous, it is immensely important. There are no easy solutions. I don't think anyone could tell you how to fix the problems we have. We need to not only disarm people, but to disarm hearts in our culture. And unfortunately, insofar as violence is occurring in our schools, this falls on you. So thank you in advance for everything that you do toward that goal of disarming the hearts of our students, of disarming the hearts even of our educators and our staff. I hope there is peace within each and every one of your hearts so that you can share it. And if there isn't, I hope you can find it. Thank you.
Marilyn Willis. Marilyn Willis. There she is. The next one will be Ash. It says Chattanooga, but I can't see it.
Good afternoon, Dr. Mitchell and the current panel. I'm Marilyn Willis. I've been in the school system 8 years. I'm a custodian at Jenkins Elementary. My question was, I was just in question about we're not getting paid for overtime, but we're being offered comp time. So I was just in question about that. You do have a few of us that do go above and beyond to make sure the schools are open on, clean and open on time, ready for the kids to come in. We go far and beyond. I know I put in extra hours up at BC Charles, and some more of us did make sure the school was open on time so the kids could start on time. So I was in question about that, and someone else brought up something about the kids. It do bother me about the kids. I worry about the kids all the time. That what happened this morning. I just don't know. Sometimes I be in the hall, the kids upset. I be like, well, baby, what's wrong? Sometimes I do ask them what's wrong, because we don't know where the problem coming from. Some just need to be done. So, going forward, I just hope we all will come to a conclusion and get something done about the bad behavior in the school system. One thing I know, it ain't nothing like it was when I was in school. You act up if you want to. Somebody gonna be waiting for you at the house, you better believe it. So I'll close mine with my closing statement will be, I guess all of us could work together, come up with a solution, and try to do what's best for the kids, to keep the trouble down and the gun violence, and stay in prayer, most of all. I'll close with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Willis, for your service. Ash Chagnon? I did. I'm going from memory, not from what you wrote.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
So hi, my name is Ash. Good evening, Dr. Mitchell, members of the board, and special welcome to our new student representative. It's good to see you. I don't think I've met you before. I don't have any prepared remarks this evening. I didn't originally even intend to speak tonight. But I do want to say that I am glad to be here again, and I wanted to say thank you for doing some good work over the past couple of weeks and months. I've heard some good news, some positive news out of discussions with the Educators Union in the City of Newport News. And I want to say that I'm very happy to hear that things are progressing on that front. And I want to thank the members of our board and the members of our Educators Union for working together to make a better school system for our employees and for our students, and set a different tone from the usual doom and gloom that I bring to these meetings. But thank you very much for your time. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to hearing more good news in the future.
Thank you, Ash. Jane Martin. And then the last one for this section will be Chandra Woods. Jane Martin, hi.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I am Jane Martin, representing my daughter, Emily Woolham. Darn allergies. And I'm here for my third visit. I'm again requesting the ban keeping my daughter from every Newport News school be lifted. If the ban from all the schools cannot be lifted, I'm requesting that it be modified to allow Emily access to Kiln Creek Elementary School, where my granddaughter Jasmine is a special education student. I've been thinking about what I can say to you that I have not said previously. Tonight, the theme is fairness. I believe that we all want to be treated fairly. I attempt to treat everyone that way, but that's not my recent experience with NNPS. I would not be here if I could get someone in the school system to talk with me about this situation. It seems that is not going to be an option. On Friday, September 6th, Jasmine was not feeling well and went to the school clinic, where she is not a frequent visitor. Emily was called. She lives 5 minutes away from the school and was not permitted to pick up Jasmine due to the ban. Emily tried to call Jasmine's father, and he was unavailable. She tried to call me, and I was unavailable. She reached my husband, who was in line to have groceries put in his car and could not get out of line, the line, or he wouldn't have gotten our groceries. When I got to my phone, I saw that Emily had called. I rushed over to get Jasmine. She had been in the clinic with a headache for 1 hour with her mother 5 minutes away. Upholding this ban against Emily is a heartless act and in no way fair. The consequences, my 9-year-old special needs granddaughter suffers. In May, Emily was called to meet with HR concerning her Facebook post, which was terrible. I'll admit that. I have no problem with that. I went with her. We were shown a paper containing the charges against her. The paper had a phrase, "after completing an investigation." Emily asked, what investigation would that be? There was apparently an investigation conducted in which the primary suspect, Emily, was not involved. How is that fair? Emily's fate was determined by a committee who made a recommendation to Dr. Mitchell. I asked if I might meet with that committee, and the person with whom I spoke didn't know who they were. How is that fair? So let me review. An investigation was conducted where no one spoke to the primary suspect, Emily. A committee who had never met or spoken with Emily decided her fate based solely on her Facebook post. They took away a job she loved and banned her from school property. What is fair about any of this? I'm pretty sure the answer is nothing. I wonder how any of you would feel if someone you loved had been treated this way. We live in a country where everyone is entitled to a fair trial, and I guess that does not apply to NNPS.
Thank you, Mrs. Martin.
Okay, thank you.
Chandra Woods. Our Teacher of the Year.
Good evening.
And Regional Teacher of the Year.
Good evening, Dr. Mitchell, members of the school board, parents, and community members. I've had the privilege of teaching middle school for 26 years, and tonight I want to share some positivity about why I continue to teach and how my students inspire me every single day. So my kids, our students, have been an amazing source of inspiration for me. They touched my heart so deeply that I wanted to share them with everyone. When I shared this with them in the classroom, told them that I want to come speak about them, they wanted to speak for themselves, to share their experiences about middle school and how they're growing each day. Why do I teach? The answer is simple, our students. I've had the pleasure of being part of the lives of these incredible young people who teach me just as much as I teach them. They are sweet, loving, kind, gentle, respectful, humble, argumentative, and preteens who show up every day eager to learn. By the end of the day, I sit in my rolling chair exhausted, but happily so, because they pull out of me everything that I pour into them. But they did not come to this place on their own. I also have the privilege of working with their amazing families who respond to my daily JoJo messages as just as dedicated to their children's success. Sometimes we focus on the challenges we face, but tonight I want to share a story of positivity. Let me tell you about the moment I realized just how special that my students are. On the first day of school, one of my children was upset. He had his head down. He walked up to me, and he was sad. He said he just wanted to have a good day. And I picked up his head, and I gave him a hug, and I said, it's going to be okay. He started to cry, and then he looked at me. He said, I believe you. It reminded me of how much our children believe us when we tell them that things will get better. That moment stays with me all the time. Those moments remind me every day why I teach. While I'm teaching them reading and writing, my students teach me patience and perseverance and the power of kindness. They push me to be a better teacher and person. For that, I'm forever grateful. I'm so excited for what lies ahead for my students and their families. They are full of potential and ready to take on the world with their bright minds and compassionate hearts. It is important for all of us to see that while there are challenges, there is so much good happening in our schools every day. Thank you so much to the Newport News School Board, Newport News staff, parents, families, caregivers, for helping us get off to an awesome school year, and for supporting the implementation of our VDOE initiatives, including the Literacy Act and Executive Order 33. We are one Newport News. Thank you.
Thank you. We really do appreciate all comments this evening. We will have a second section for comments. We'll get on with the business of the school board. We'll now move on to Section 3, the consent agenda, which includes 3.01, minutes from the work session, August 2024, 3.02, minutes from the closed meeting, August 2024, 3.03, minutes from the regular meeting, August 2024, 3.04, the financial report, including the revenue and expense reports for June and August 2024, 3.05, the personnel report, 3.06, the budget transfer. At this time, can we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any comment or question? Okay, please call the roll.
Harris.
4.
Hunter.
4.
Alger.
4.
Amon.
4.
Best.
4.
Searles Law.
4.
Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you. We'll move on to Section 5, reports and information. 5.01, teaching and learning update. Dr. Mitchell, do we have a presentation?
Yes, we do, Madam Chair. Tonight we have a presentation on streamlining the curriculum. We have coming to the podium Mr. Darryl Pankratz. He is the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning, and he will kind of tag team with Ms. Lori Wall, who is the Director of Elementary Teaching and Learning.
Thank you, Dr. Mitchell. And good evening, Madam Chair, Searles Law, Vice Chair Dr. Best,
and school board members as well. So tonight I'm very excited to be able to share an update with all of you on the pre-K through 12 curriculum that we've been working on and will continue to do in streamlining the NNPS curriculum. As we began this work, we looked at the previous curriculum audit conducted in 2022. In particular, we looked at interviews with teachers about the current curriculum platform, templates, and overall functionality. An initial step that each of our curriculum supervisors addressed was to identify the vision, goals, and instructional approach for each content, which aligns to the VDOE standards of learning and are inspired by the profile of the learner. This provided the foundation of our redesign and served as our North Star. On this slide is the vision, goals, and instructional approach for our elementary English. This information has not only been folded into our curriculum redesign, but is also forward-facing on the elementary and secondary English websites for our families and community. All other subject areas are currently in process to mirror the same look on the external curriculum site for our community. The next steps involved our curriculum supervisors learning about the design of what we call a storyboard. A storyboard is a visual approach for all stakeholders, teachers, families, students, and community members, to experience an overview of the grade level subject or course and tells an engaging story of the learning. Then we designed the lesson level template, which became the curriculum writer template and teacher unit instructional guides. What you see on the screen now is an example of our secondary storyboard. Each storyboard contains a purposeful title, a compelling image that helps tell the story of the unit, and a narrative explanation with a through line that is accessible to all stakeholders. In an effort to be transparent to all families, it also includes the standards of learning that are taught within each unit. What you see in front of you now is the forward-facing elementary English page, where storyboards are posted and are accessible for our families and community. This allows for all stakeholders to engage with the story and unit information with their student. Now we'd like to show you what the teacher is able to access through the intranet curriculum site. In order to create a streamlined curriculum from the start, we have designed a more accessible curriculum site where all curriculum is housed on the intranet for our employees. Notice the 3 buttons in which staff can choose from: elementary, secondary, K through 12 related arts. Also under those 3 buttons are quick links for our teachers to access as well. Let's take a look at what the elementary curriculum looks like. After clicking elementary, our employees are navigated to this screen, in which they can select the grade level of their choosing. This allows for teachers to find all of the subjects that they'll be teaching on one page and makes it an ease of access for them. Let's take a look at what the 5th grade link looks like. After selecting a grade level, employees are then taken to that grade level landing page. From this point, all items have been developed in Google, which allows for meaningful planning and real-time updates. This page contains VDOE resources, division resources for general and subject specific to elementary education, and on the bottom of the landing page, the selection of a course subject can be made. Let's take a look at the English storyboard. After clicking the English link, the 5th grade English storyboard will appear. This gives teachers and other staff the opportunity to understand the through lines of the curriculum, as well as dive deeper into each unit. Once at the storyboard, clicking on the title of the unit will take teachers to our unit instructional guide. The grade 5 first unit instructional guide is shown here. This is the instructional guidance document for teachers, which includes a piece of that storyboard that you previously had seen, the unit, the pacing, the learning targets, the essential questions, core resources, assessments, and notes for teachers. Under the core resource document section are what we call slide decks. In the slide deck, teachers are able to see a daily lesson with all lesson components included. This provides the teacher an aligned curriculum to deliver to all students while allowing them to differentiate and customize as needed for their diverse learners. Now we're going to go back and look at the secondary. So much like the elementary site, when employees click on the secondary button, they are taken to this screen. This screen lists all of the courses offered in each of our core disciplines. As we continue to streamline our curriculum, new courses will be added using our new curriculum documents and storyboards. We're going to take a look at English 10. The English 10 landing page shown here contains the same resources as the elementary landing page, but includes the subject-specific storyboard at the bottom. This is the division landing page template that all of our pre-K through 12 curriculum will use to be consistent across the division. Teachers will click the unit title in the storyboard to access the unit instructional guide, much like in elementary. The English 10 first unit instructional guide is shown here. Notice, this has the same components as the elementary ones that you had seen previously, and will be used again across all of our pre-K through 12 documents. And much like elementary, they also have access to the slide decks, which provide those daily lesson components and gives the teachers a daily guide as they're teaching their lessons. So, going back to our slides, sorry. My driver's doing a great job, by the way. As you can see, as part of the streamlining process, we have developed documents that are clear, concise, and consistent for all teachers and staff in NNPS. In conclusion, we want to remind everyone that we are still using the Hampton curriculum in elementary math, science, and social studies. And in K-12 English, we are using what you have previously seen, the process and templates, and continue to develop and post new curriculum units on a designated timeline throughout this year. In addition, other secondary courses are also in the process of using this new curriculum document as well. So Ms. Wall and I stand to answer any questions that you guys may have, and thank you so much for allowing us to share this with all of you.
Board members, do we have questions?
I do, among others. Thank you. Is there anywhere for parents, if they're curious to get, I noticed some things in the 10th storyboard that might have given people some question marks. Is there anywhere they can go to look and see sort of what's expected to be taught? So if they have questions, like for example, social justice research project, if people have questions or concerns, who would they reach out to? How do they learn? What's the content of that? What activism might my kids be doing?
Absolutely. So essentially for the parents in the community, all they're seeing is the title. They're seeing the narrative that's there to tell them what they'll be learning throughout that unit and then identifying those standards. From that point forward, everything else is in-house that a teacher may post on Canvas or wherever else they're posting for then that way it can get out to further from there. But as far as just for the community, it's just that front storyboard page.
But the recommendation would be, though, that those parents could reach out to the lead teacher,
Absolutely.
the teacher or the lead teacher for that content area, or
could they reach out to like teaching and learning, to the English department?
So they could reach out to the classroom teacher, who then can share, here are the activity, like the lesson series that we will be studying throughout this 15-day unit or 20-day unit. So a teacher could give the specificity. The storyboard is like the 10,000-foot view. If they wanted the ground floor view, that would be a question for the classroom teacher.
Okay, and would there be different, like 10-foot views, in that one teacher might choose to use this option versus that option? Like there are different things you can pick to teach.
In the instance of English that we gave you, the curriculum slide decks would have given the choices to the teachers. Right. So they would be able to say, within this unit, our curriculum says we can do X, Y, or Z. I've selected X. So there wouldn't be something to say X, Y, or Z, and I chose A. That isn't here.
But teacher A might have selected material X, and teacher B might have selected Z, so your kids could technically be approaching it from different materials.
They could, but it would be within the curriculum. It would be choices they're making that are within the curriculum.
And that's really that customization and differentiation piece that we talked about. So they get the curriculum and then they're able to customize it for their learners in their classroom.
And I believe that the Virginia Department of Ed has support for parents as well, as far as the pacing guide. So if they go to the standard, I believe that there are places where they can get activities to support the learning.
The family resources piece surrounded around the bigger standard, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Other board members? Comments, questions, concerns?
I just want to say that it looks really organized, and I appreciate that. I love the assessment piece. I'm curious to see, you know, how that aligns with everything else, including the, you know, the ESOLs. But we also know that there are changes on the way in terms of accountability and everything else. So, you know, kudos to you guys for the work, because there's a lot that I'm sure that still needs to be done to kind of clear out some of the wrinkles as the State Department is making decisions along the way.
Yeah, always
Absolutely.
a work in progress. We always
Right.
say it's a live document, and so the teachers know that when if changes are made or revisions are made or additions are added, we share that with our teachers lifetime.
And that was one of the main reasons moving to Google, is that our curriculum supervisors can log in and make real-time adjustments that teachers see automatically that day.
That's great. Thank you.
Dr. Best?
Yeah, what kind of feedback are you getting from teachers?
Want to share elementary first?
We did at our lead meeting last Tuesday. We shared, hey, you heard a lot of information in August from us, but we need to hear from you. And so we did some lead feedback around successes and obstacles. Brought that back to the team to say what are some things that are working for you. And then we are also working on a direct feedback link. They typically will email as well, but we're putting a feedback link on the curriculum site so that at any point they can just go to that link and provide direct feedback. So right now we're hearing, thank you for streamlining, thank you for hearing our call, and keep doing more of this. And so we will continue to take their feedback throughout the process this year and continue to strengthen our platform.
Thank you.
Very much the same in secondary. Yes.
Okay.
Ms. Amon?
I just had a quick question. Is this within the part of the content in this, is that benchmark advanced, or where are we on that?
Yes. So Benchmark Advance is the core program. So the storyboard is heavily designed around those units of study. So when a family sees on that family page, it's those storyboards are under curriculum, but under the family and partner families as partners tab, it talks about Benchmark Advanced, and we are adding links that say here are some of the activities that would support this storyboard work.
Okay,
So it is fully aligned to Benchmark.
Okay, so like if a parent wanted to, we don't look at textbooks anymore. It'd be great
Yes.
if we could, but
Yes.
it is, you know, if they wanted to kind of see what's going to, you know, what the kids are going to be learning,
Yeah.
would they reach out to the teachers? Would she be able, or he be able to provide content that they could kind of see what the kids are reading?
So they're actually going to see exactly what the kids are reading. It's going to come home.
Okay.
Because the textbook that used to be in a basal,
Right.
all the stories in one book, are now consumable. And so at Back to School Night, we shared some slides with teachers that they can share with families that say, one, go to the storyboard. That'll tell you about the big ideas. Two, every time we finish a unit every 3 weeks, those stories, that consumable text is coming home so that you can see exactly what they read, reread those things, and on the back cover are activities that go with that unit of study for families to reinforce that. So transparency-wise, they're seeing exactly what their students are reading and then actually activities to go with it. While they're in the unit, since those consumables will stay in the classroom and they'll be working through those, that's the letter that says we're about to start Unit 3. Here are some ways in which you can support Unit 3. It's around X, Y, or Z. So there'll be before they start the unit, look at the storyboard. During the unit, do the activities from the letter. After the unit, here are the activities and what they read. So
Okay,
there'll be
and if a
3
parent
touch
wanted to preview, because some may want to and have those kinds of questions, could they reach out to the school or
And
the
see the
teacher, or would there be something they could come and take a look at, or some copy in the library? or
Of
something?
course. So
Okay.
the teachers have access to all of the materials that they could show to a family to say, here are the pieces of text they'll be reading for this unit of study.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's there if you want to read
It is there for you to see. Yes.
Okay, excellent.
I want to just add one piece as Daryl, as you went through it and you scrolled down. I think it's important to note that there are activities for students who are in gifted programs. There are also activities for students who have special education services. So it's a one-stop shop for all teachers.
Yes, and that's our universal design, is to say entry for all kids into the core curriculum.
Well, those were my two comments, is that I like the usability of it from the, the 10,000 foot level. And I know I picked up quickly on the differentiation within the storyboards, and as we got down to what the teachers were able to select from. And that's some heavy duty work. So thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll share with the team.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to 5.02, the membership report. Board members, you have received a copy of this report. Are there any questions specifically? Hearing none, we'll move on to 5.03, the construction report. Board members, you've also received a copy of this report. Are there any questions? Hearing none, we'll move on to item 5.04, comments by the superintendent. Dr. Mitchell, we're excited to hear from you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I first want to take the opportunity to thank our staff for their passion, their commitment, and certainly their flexibility that they have exhibited not only every day, but especially currently through some difficult times. Our staff have really been there for the students, and they've been there for the parents, and it is greatly appreciated. I also would like to share that today is National IT Professionals Day. So our professional technology staff that supports teaching and learning, they maintain our hardware, software, networks, and student information system, and they ensure our network security. So special thanks to our technology team for all that you do to keep everything running smoothly for our students and staff. National Hispanic Heritage Month is September 15th through October 15th, and the school division is recognizing the achievements and contributions of Hispanic American champions who have inspired others to achieve success. Over the next few weeks, our schools will be commemorating the observance of special events and activities, and we will share some of those on social media as well as our website. Madam Chair, this concludes my comments for this evening. Thank you.
So thank you, Dr. Mitchell. We will move on to item 6, another opportunity to hear from the public. I do have some additional cards, but if you have any that are still out there, if you wouldn't mind bringing those up. Harrison, I think this is Matthew. Mathieu. Matthew. Okay, got it.
Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and parents. My name is Harrison Matthew, and I'm a 6th grader at Crittenden Middle School, and Miss Woods is my English teacher. I'm here to talk about my experience as a new middle school student. When I first started middle school, I noticed that the school was much bigger and all the different classes and teachers. And sometimes I forgot which way to go. I thought middle school would be scary at first, but it turned out to be fun. One of the biggest challenges is moving from different classes and having a different mindset on that subject. It is different making new friends and getting used to different classmates in each class and having good friendships. One of my favorite things about middle school is English class. We always have fun. Miss Woods is awesome at what she does. So far, I've learned how to stay organized and make new friends. I've gotten better at staying focused and having a positive mindset. As my 6th grade year in middle school goes on, I'm really looking forward to being in a lot of clubs. One of my goals is hopefully to get on the basketball team this winter. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. So far, middle school has been new and exciting and positive journey, and I am ready to see what's next.
I am so proud of our young people. Paul Crawford.
Thank you for the chance to speak. I was here in March to bring attention to a problem with pay in plant services. That problem still exists. Some adjustments were made, but only moved a salary compression around a little bit without fixing the system. Why is it that the hourly pay scale is so convoluted that an employee can't look at their position and number of years and see their pay? The teachers can do that with their pay scale, and just makes sense that the hourly support staff should get the same treatment. I heard there might be another review coming where HR compares NNPS pay to other systems, see where we stand. I hope this happens, and I hope they share the results. But it would be nice if we felt the efforts were transparent and fair to everyone. Another issue we have is when a person is promoted to a lead, their years of experience reset, and the next adjustment ignores all the time they served before the promotion. This seems like a penalty for doing a good job and getting moved up. If a custodian is promoted to a custodian lead, they are still cleaning, mopping, and dumping trash. Why is this considered a different job? Same goes for painters, plumbers, or carpenters. If they don't move to a completely different line of work, it seems only fair to give them a credit for the years they put in. NNPS wants employees that can be trusted with the keys to the building, trusted around kids, not to use tobacco or drugs, can pass a background check, have good driving record, and computer skills. Good employees need to be paid well. I have a question about insurance costs. Maybe you've heard all this before, I don't know. We pay a lot more for our premiums than city employees. I'd like to know why that is. From what I can see online, the only difference is the amount that the employer pays towards the premium. Employee-only plans are pretty equal between the city and the schools as long as you take advantage of the wellness credit. Employee plus spouse plans are between $2,800 and $3,100 more per year than the city, even with the wellness credit. Employee plus family plans are between $3,100 to $3,500 more a year for the city, also with the credit. Most of our plans are between 2.5 and 4 times what the city pays for a similar plan from the same insurance company. I understand it may not be possible to match the city's rates, but it is a huge drag on our income and feels unreasonable when compared with other employees working for the same municipality. Any movement toward parity would be appreciated. I've had a family plan here for 12 years that's cost me more than $40,000 more than if I had worked for the city of Newport News in a similar position. That's more money than my total take-home pay in any year since I've worked here. My gross last year was $20,000 more than my take-home, than my net. A third of that goes to taxes, $4,100 to retirement, but $7,300 goes to insurance before I even go to the doctor the first time. Just like the last time I was here, I'm not trying to start a fight. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. I just want you to remember us and some of the concerns that we have. I think I speak for most of my coworkers when I say that I just want to make this a better place to work and to provide for our family and to feel good enough to recommend these jobs to others. Happy employments are your best recruitment tool. Thank you.
Thank you. Jaden Johnson. It's like getting bingo, isn't it?
My friend was also saying that too. Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and parents. My name is Jaden Johnson, and I'm a 6th grader at Crittenden Middle School. Miss Woods is my English teacher. I'm also here to talk. Why do I keep on saying also?
It's okay.
I am here to talk about my experience as a new middle school student. When I first started, I noticed most of my teachers were cool and friendly. And I like the learning environment. I thought middle school was going to be boring. But what I found was that it was actually fun. One of the biggest challenges has been more homework and changing classes. It's been different making new friends and getting used to having new classmates. One of my favorite parts about middle school is my STEM class and band. So far, I've learned to work with my teachers by asking questions. I've also gotten better at English. As I continue through middle school, I look forward to field trips and new experiences. One of my goals is to try to get at least 3 100s. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak tonight. Middle school has been new and exciting and positively in a positive journey. I am excited to see what's next.
Very good. Next, I have Crew Campbell. Hi, Crew.
Hello. Good evening, members of the school board, teachers, and parents. My name is Crew Campbell, and I'm a sixth grader at Crittenden Middle School. My English teacher is Miss Woods. I'm here to talk about my new experiences as a middle school student. When I started middle school, I noticed there was many new people and a whole new environment to explore. I thought middle school would be a scary place, but I found it was not scary, and it had a nice environment. I've also gotten better at, trying harder. In elementary school, didn't really do that much, and I've learned to work on that. And as I continue through middle school, I'm looking forward to making new friends. One of my goals is to join the volleyball team this winter, and I'm trying to get straight A's. Thank you, school board, for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight.
Thank you. We appreciate you all coming to speak tonight. Valerie Fashion.
Good evening, Dr. Mitchell and school board members. My name is Valerie Fashion, and I'm an advocate for my grandchildren and the thousands of children in the school districts. First, I'd like to thank you all for all that you do for the children in our school district. I have a grandson that's in the first grade, and he entered kindergarten in 2023 in August. And I'm really concerned about the lack of spelling words that these children are being given. He has not been given a spelling word yet since he's been in school. And the spelling words that I'm working him with was the fry, and adult spelling list, from the words from those lists. And those are not the words that's located in your UFly Foundation program that you all are using. After my research, I found out that UFly is a phonics program, and they were developed by the University of Florida Institute, the UFly Foundation. Florida, right now, is not concerned about educating its students, and they are limiting the number of books students can read in their school districts. They are banning books. As of April 2024, according to American Library Association, nearly 2,700 titles were challenged in Florida's school and public libraries. Florida School District pulled nearly 2,000 books from its shelves, including some dictionaries and encyclopedias. So why are we using programs that's being developed in the state of Florida? All students need to know the basics: reading, spelling, writing, arithmetic. The demographics of the Newport News school system have changed. How is this issue being addressed? Parents, teachers, and students should be given workshops on the classes or the type of program that Newport News is offering. Right now, the students do get these paper books that do not go home. So therefore, the parents a lot of times do not know what is being taught to the students in the classroom. It's important that that the administration reevaluate the current, especially the spelling curriculum that's being used, and place the importance of educating our children for success first. Without an education, our children will be eliminated for opportunities in education, entrepreneurship, corporate America, and the public sector. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very, very much. Lisa Hedge, please. Lisa Hedge. Lisa Hedge. Okay, my apologies. Jeannie Lynn Bradowski. Okay. Mary Voss. There she is.
Hello, Mary Voss, NNPS teacher, parent, and graduate, also proud secretary of the Newport News Education Association. First of all, the NNEA stands in solidarity with youth victims of gun violence and their families here in Newport News. As a community, we must do all we can to protect our children from gun violence and violence in schools. And I know we've put some things in place, but we just got to keep moving and keep working at it and not give up. The NNEA is continuing our campaign to win contract negotiations for NNPS teachers and staff. In districts with contract negotiations, school workers have won things like smaller class sizes, more planning time, more restroom breaks, seniority and job security, reduced unnecessary testing, and more. Teacher and staff working conditions are student learning conditions, so contract negotiations benefit students in the community as well. NNPS employees, if you haven't signed your NNEA authorization card yet to help us win contract negotiations, please visit newportnewseducationassociation.com and scroll down to authorization cards. Both members and non-members can sign. I'd like to next discuss teacher concerns about the mandatory literacy course required by the Virginia Literacy Act, which mandates that all K-8 educators receive training in evidence-based literacy instruction. And while it is a valuable and informative training, it's also very time consuming, taking at least 3 to 4 hours each month outside of our contract hours. As classroom teachers, we already have so much on our plates, paperwork and grading and other required trainings that often we do in the evenings and on weekends. It would be very helpful if NNPS would take something off our plates for each new thing that's put on. For example, NNPS could give us the gift of time to work on this course by allowing us to work on it on the teacher work days that are scheduled instead of making us responsible for additional trainings on those days. We implore you to find ways to lighten our load instead of piling on more. One final item I'd like to address today is the need to reinstitute a sick leave bank option for employees. I know some amazing teachers and staff in NNPS who have pre-existing conditions and who run out of sick leave through no fault of their own. They then have to go unpaid when they are ill, which can make it difficult to make ends meet at home. This is unnecessary when many other employees have more sick leave than needed, and we're willing to share it. The following school districts, local school districts, provide a sick leave bank option for their teachers and staff: Hampton City Schools, Williamsburg, James City County Public Schools, Virginia Beach Public Schools, Norfolk Public Schools, and Suffolk Public Schools. Here's an example of the sick leave bank policy available from online from WJCC Public Schools. To become a member of the bank, employees must donate at least 1 day of their sick leave. Please consider this option for NNPS to better attract and retain teachers and staff. Thank you for your time.
David Brakeman.
Thank you, Dr. Best and members of the board. I'm here to continue to ask for gender-affirming revisions to Procedure JBP. I appreciate your having addressed me not today and on other sessions as Mr. David Brackman. I want to ask, why did you do that? You didn't check my birth certificate. You didn't karyotype a DNA sample. You just took me at my word when I said who I was. And you didn't compel the government to investigate or tell me that I'm wrong about that at every turn. Imagine growing up surrounded by that kind of hostility. Since last year, trans students in NNPS can only be addressed by corrected affirming pronouns if they and their parents spend months getting a court order or a passport to say so. There's no need for this except to serve the MAGA agenda of weaponizing the government to reject the existence and dignity of trans people. Similarly, the section prohibiting trans students from playing sports with their friends of the same gender is beyond what Youngkin's already dubious guidance attempts to require of us. This is not the Olympics. The point of school sports is to stay happy and healthy by running outside with your friends. The point of a procedure preventing that was designed to be cruel instead. No, thank you.
Ron Lee.
I'm going to talk about gun violence. If there's any kids that might be sensitive to that, give you an option to leave. You guys have an impossible job. Before some of you guys are off this board, the teachers in this room will probably know a kid that dies, a kid that you had underneath you from gun violence. A little story about myself. I was at a restaurant, news was on, church shooting in Sutherland Springs. Soon my phone goes off. One of my airmen who's deployed in Africa lost 8 family members in one shooting. I go to the funeral with him after we got him back from Africa. I saw Hello Kitty caskets, Matchbox car, spray painted caskets, Superman caskets, bunch of kids, bunch of dead kids. And it's the most horrifying thing in the world to think about. And nothing that you guys do here can prevent that in the future. But when it happens, there will be blame for you guys, whether it is justified or not. So I want to give you my heartfelt gratitude for the tough job you do, because that will be a hard day if it ever comes, and I'll be thinking about you guys during that time. I would like everybody to think about, for 5 minutes on your way home, what can I do to prevent gun violence? You know, I'm from Germany from past talks. Germany has 89 million people in it. America has 333 million people in it. So just a little bit more than a quarter of the population is German. They had 214 gun violence deaths in 2023. 214 people out of 83 million were killed in the entire country of Germany. I don't know how many were killed in Newport News and Hampton combined in 2023, but it might be close. The problem is guns, and nothing you guys do over there can prevent that. In America, we have 380 million guns floating around. Take that for what it's worth, but I thank you guys, and you have a tough job, and I pray safety for all of you guys out there.
Thank you for everyone's comments this evening. They have been both sobering and uplifting. We're going to move on to matters by the school board. We're going to begin with Mr. Verde, our reason for what we do. Mr. Verde.
Firstly, I just wanted to thank all of the wonderful students who spoke today about their amazing starts to their middle school. I also wanted to let all of my fellow high schoolers know that recruitment for the Superintendent Student Advisory Group on Education is underway. And for any of you wondering what this is, we meet with Dr. Mitchell, our lovely superintendent over here, once a month, and we discuss what concerns we may have and possible solutions and things like that. This recruitment process will be ending a week from today on Tuesday, September 24th, and interested high school students should contact their student support specialist for an application. I will be meeting with the superintendent in upcoming weeks to plan for the first SAGE meeting, and also on a a brief last note, I very much enjoyed participating in the Southeast Community Day Parade earlier this month, and I'm looking forward to participating in the Denby Day Parade and meeting more of our community. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Mr. Hunter.
No comment.
Ms. Alger.
I just want to share, I just have so many mixed emotions today. This morning with the news that we got, and then listening to our Teacher of the Year, to our students, hearing about the important stuff in terms of what our kids are learning, and that it lifts my spirits to know that we've got so much goodness out there, so many good things in spite of the things that the tragic events that occur. I want to thank every teacher. We had a custodial staff here to talk about the importance and how they reach in terms of relationships. So the custodial staff, the folks that work every single day with kids and build those relationships, it's so important because you just never know. So I want to thank you for pouring each and every day into their hearts, into their souls, not just what the standards of learning, but the fact that you care. And to be able to carry that out into the community is very critical, and to make sure that we work with our families. So thank you all. Today has been an incredible lesson for me, and I want to thank Dr. Mitchell, who's been such a warrior through all of this today, because I know that this was a hard day. So thank you.
Ms. Zaman?
Sure. I'll piggyback off of what Ms. Alger said. It is a day of mixed emotions, and there's been a lot happening. And I, too, was heartened by the middle schoolers coming and sharing their stories. That's a big jump. And to see their excitement and the positive experience they've had this far was really wonderful and really heartening. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone, all the staff members, the teachers, everyone, community, parents, who's been pouring into the kids. And school is going on. We're coming up on, there'll be some tests, maybe some middle of the quarter and end of quarter tests. So, and games and tournaments. And, it's easy to get caught up into aiming for the end goal. So I just want to encourage everyone and the students, you find joy in the journey. Find joy in the preparing in the day-to-day as you reach for those goals. And I think everything will be more rewarding.
Thank you. Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Madam I'm not superintendent, but Chairwoman. I wasn't going to speak, but I've been contemplating after hearing our young students come up. Actually, it took me back to days going into combat, and you have young soldiers with you, and they're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, no fear, honest. But you as leaders know, or we as leaders know, that, on the outside of these walls are people that do not mean them any good. So listening to the young folks come up, speak bravely, even supporters that have always came to the school board, even you that have really, told us how you really, really, truly feel, which is great. Even you recognize that this is a tough job. And I consider myself a pretty tough fella, but after being on the school board, it is a humbling experience. Why? Because you're entrusted with individuals that came up here to speak, those young kids. I'm not entrusted with 30-year-olds safety, yes, but when you're dealing with kids, that puts you in a different type of position. You don't have time for the mediocrity. You don't have time for the show and tell. You don't have time for what your neighbor thought or whatever the case may be. It is all about security of those kids. In excess of, I think, 24,000. 24,000. So every day when I leave here, or I'm sure my colleagues too, you worry about the phone call. You know, you worry about the phone call. And when it happens, the only thing you can do is retrospect. Why? Because you couldn't stop it. And just like the gentleman said, sure, we know what's coming. So I ask that we continue to do our best. There are times that we must not be here for likes. You know, my mother used to tell me all the time, son, me loving you means me telling you no sometimes. And I think we've, you know, as leaders, you have to get back in that habit of looking people in the eye and say no. If you can't come to campus, no. If the law says you can't show up because of your actions, no. And that's all I have, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Best.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I, too, contemplated if I was going to say something and exactly what I was going to say. So I'll just share a few words from my heart. So this morning, I woke up very happy and excited because today was my great niece's 3rd birthday. And she was even more excited than I was. She woke up good morning and she was happy and just excited about what the day would bring. And I'm the type of person, I don't carry my cell phone so sometimes I'm behind with the messages. So I received a call from Mrs. Alger, and she informed me what had happened again. And it was like air. Somebody had put a pin in a balloon, and the air had went out of the balloon. And then I looked at my great niece with all of her hopes and her dreams and her aspirations and her just looking forward to today and tomorrow. And then I received a phone call also from Mr. John Ely, and he called a meeting together of some of the people, some of the leaders and some of the people that work with youth in the Southeast community. And I left that meeting with a sense of hope as well. Then I came to this meeting here, and our students that spoke tonight, a lot of times they'll bring it right back home for you and let you know exactly why you are here. So although my heart is heavy for what has happened, I still have hope, and every day that I have breath in me, I'm going to continue to fight for those kids so that they can have a brighter future in keeping them safe. And I too want to thank the parents and the students, thank my colleagues, because what we do is not easy, but we're trying to do what's best and what's right for our students. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Dr. Best. I think the only thing that I would like to add for my colleagues this evening is how proud I am of our students who are also looking out for the collective safety. They are doing the job that shows that they still believe in us. They let us know when they see something, they say something, and they expect us to do something about that. So I'm going to take what Mary Voss said. She said, we just can't give up. So we're not going to give up. We're going to make sure that we are being what our students expect us to be. And that is the biggest gift that we can give them in our school division. Meeting adjourned.
A painting from the early 30s is a playful arrangement of the filaments of a radio tube with the suggestion of a stringed instrument and a clarinet. It hints at the growing impact of modern technology on his art.
The movie